2023 Honda Accord Hybrid Touring First Test, a step forward or back? Honda struggles to make a great car even better with the 2023 Accord. The 2023 Honda Accord had a hard act to follow. The outgoing 10th generation of the segment-leading sedan was hard to beat. So hard, in fact, even Honda seems to have struggled to exceed it. Yes, the 11th generation Accord has made improvements and will likely keep its podium position in the midsize sedan class, but it does not move the needle significantly, even taking a few steps back in some areas. That was the case when we tested the base Accord Hybrid, so we needed to get our hands on a 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid in the top touring trim, which is the upmarket choice in a lineup where feature content is tied to trim and options are few and far between. The updated styling was supposed to make the car look more modern, but to many eyes, it looks dated and almost derpy, though the Touring's larger wheels help. Inside, the cabin's design and materials are bang on. Our Touring test car came with a two-tone black and white interior. The white perforated seats are made of a premium-feeling soft leather, and they are heated and cooled up front in this top trim. The doors are black with white armrests, and the rear seats are a sea of fresh white leather. While lower trims lack any amenities, the Touring has air vents, a storage pouch, and a pair of USB-C chargers in the second row. Rear passengers also are treated to heated seats and great legroom, but the sloped roof impacts headroom. The trunk is also huge, with a narrow pass-through featuring a hump to circumnavigate. The car's inner beauty is its functionality. All those knobs on the center stack are perfectly placed, making them easy to find and use. There are chunky airflow director tabs that stick out of the metal grate across the dash. It has a satisfying traditional shift lever that clunks through its detents. A big upgrade, the 12.3-inch screen with its crisp graphics is the largest for an Accord to date and a major advancement from the puny 7.0-inch display in the lower trims. In this day and age, larger screens should be standard. The Touring trim adds wireless charging and full Google integration, which means built-in navigation with Google Maps and Google Assistant instead of an automaker's system and voice recognition. The hybrid boosts efficiency with an EPA rating of 46/41/44 of a mile per gallon city/highway/combined and a range of 563 miles. That is a substantial boost over the Accord X with its gas engine rated at 29/37 of a mile per gallon. The hybrid prioritizes electric power, only cueing the engine when necessary to assist. Honda even differentiates the engine's start button and the hybrid's power button. Most of the time, the hybrid oozes around like an EV with an engine running relatively quietly in the background. The hybrid also boosts performance. With its 2.0-liter i4 and electric motor, 204 horsepower combined, the Touring goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.6 seconds, whereas the lower trim X model needs 7.9 seconds propelled by its 192 horsepower 1.5-liter turbocharged i4 gas engine. The Touring completed the quarter mile in 15.2 seconds and came to a full stop from 60 miles per hour in 121 feet. By comparison, the X needed 16.1 seconds to complete the sprint and required 133 feet to come to a stop from 60 miles per hour. Acceleration is quick enough, but interestingly this hybrid, which uses an electric motor as its primary motivation, feels like it has no torque. There is some punch off the line, which fades as the car gains speed, but it lacks strong passing power. We coaxed the car to 120 miles per hour on a high-speed oval, but doing so took an excruciatingly long time during which we were not convinced it would hit it. Once at speed, the ride was quite stable and relatively quiet and smooth. On the Figure 8, there was a noticeable fall-off in lap times, a second or more, and a noticeable decline in acceleration once the battery was depleted. The Accord handles fairly well. The ride feels stiffer than in its predecessor, but that does not translate into sportier driving dynamics. It could use more power and grip for spirited driving, and the steering does not feel as lively as the last generation cars. The suspension does a nice job on most surfaces but does not like broken asphalt, washboards, or potholes. More sound deadening would ward off road and wind noise. Braking is easy to modulate and makes a smooth transition between reg and friction brakes. But the pedal is soft, offering little feedback, and can be inconsistent. The Accord has the Honda Sensing suite of active and passive driver aids. And while most systems, including adaptive cruise control, work well, we were disappointed with the lane keep assist in our tester. Honda was the benchmark for lane keeping early on, with a system that held the vehicle centered in the lane without pinging from side to side or exhibiting constant and eye-fluttering adjustments. Somehow, the tech has become worse. The system could not keep the car in its lane. The Touring trim is the only way to get many options. It is the rung needed for the wireless phone charger, Google integration, Bose stereo, head-up display, USB ports for rear passengers, ventilated front seats and heated rear seats. It means ponying up an extra $8,000 over the base car. But the result is a car that is well equipped and competitive at $38,985. Overall, the 11th generation Accord does not break much new ground and regresses in some areas. But the hybrid does offer an efficient daily driver in a segment that has not made a lot of huge leaps either in this transition period where resources are being funneled to electric vehicles. So even with some backslides, the 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid is still probably the best midsize sedan on the market.